Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Deadfire with me, Bregaton. Let's take out once Matron Doriga. Good job up there. Good job, Adair.
Let's go.
And thus falls their captain.
This is futile.
Just a couple of weather wizards left.
Smart, Stony.
Oh, that's the slaver. Alright, nothing unique. While we're here, we'll check out this school of fish. The waters of the Deadfire are as flat and translucent as a sheet of stained glass, and a steady wind guides junk along. I need to rename my ship. The scent of a well-spiced stew rises from below decks. Shield Sister Dahlia and Oswald are perched on the gunwale, legs and fishing poles dangling over the water. Caught myself a real prize the other day, Shield Sister Dahlia says. Slipped off my hook, though. I keep telling you to use a bigger one. Oswald chuckles. Seem to recall that dark-eyed barkeeping Queen's Birth slipping off your hook, too. I'm sure Shield Sister Dahlia will land a real prize someday. Shield Sister Dahlia smirks and laughs. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Captain. Not if the fool doesn't invest in better tackles, all I'm saying, Oswald says. But Shield Sister Dahlia has stiffened. You see that? You look. A dark shape moves under the water. It's almost at the edge of the horizon, but it's rapidly approaching. Shield Sister Dahlia stands. One of Gallowayne's spawn. It's coming right for us. Identify it. No idea, Adair says. But here it comes. Cast defensive wards on the ship. Circular protection. With arms spread wide, Jody chants, weaving defensive magic across the hull. The surfacing beast is about 30 feet of scales, spines, and sinew. It looks like an enormous shark, except for the wicked rows of spines running along its body. Each looks sharp enough to cleave a man in two, or puncture the hull of a ship. The beast rams you, Your ship shudders, hurling Oswald into the mast. The sailor slides to the deck, unmoving. Fire all cannons. Kill the bastard. The deck thunders as your crew rushes to their stations below. Vendrith spins the wheel, bringing the port side of the ship around to face the monster, just as a plume of water rises from the sea. Alright, same description as before. Your crew fires off a volley just as the creature comes within range. Water erupts as their shots converge, and the beast disappears. After a tense, quiet moment, red froth rises in the roiling water. A mangled carcass surfaces like a nightmare before sinking slowly into the depths. Below, your cannoneers stamp and cheer. That's my camera all the way down there. So someone was injured. Oh, good. He's already over there. Alright, let's return to Sayuka. We're head there for the first time, but return to the general vicinity of Sayuka. While I'm thinking about it, you guys are all out of order. Now let's swap out Aloth for Seraphim because his quest is there. And we have a quest for the Royal Deadfire Company. So bring Maya along as well.
Sayuka at last! I must go. Discovery awaits. Agrasima, Captain.
She bows to you.
Welcome to Sayuka.
Alright, let's level up Seraphim, Sleight of Hand, and Metaphysics. Alright, I'm gonna grab Time Parasite. By siphoning power from enemy souls, the Cypher is able to slow them down and increase their own action speed. 25% in both directions. Oh, we don't have Whisper of Treason. Let's grab that.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Will do.
Alright, Tebe and the Undersecretary.
You are welcome in Sayuka, traveler, as surely as the winds stir the sea.
The young Hawana woman gives you a sunny smile that shows every one of her pointed teeth.
No, no, no. How many times must I demonstrate the proper way to greet a visitor?
The Undersecretary makes emphatic chopping motions with his hand, a snarl curling his thin lips.
I say, I must have forgotten again. Will you remind me of the line, Undersecretary?
We say clear skies, traveler. Simple, elegant, and no smiling. Do you understand, Greeter Tebe?
He sighs.
Can you repeat it once more? I want to make sure I've got it.
Tebe turns wide, innocent eyes on the Undersecretary. The Undersecretary opens his mouth to speak, but his expression abruptly clouds. He shoots a scowl at Tebe, and elects instead not to dignify her joke at his expense.
Questions, traveler?
What can you tell me about Sayuka?
Sayuka, known to my people as Ribiri, is a colonial outpost of the Royal Deadfire Company.
Tebe makes no effort to hide the boredom in her voice.
The island of Sayuka is the Royal Deadfire Company's center of engineering research and development in the archipelago. Our work is directed by Fleet Master Okaya, the youngest Rawatayan ever to hold the title. Best of her class at the Naval Academy in Tokoa, and a brilliant engineer, our Fleet Master.
Pride warms his voice.
You forgot to mention the giant sharks, Undersecretary.
Wait. Giant sharks.
Giant sharks, giant coral, giant trees, Akira. The only thing not bigger in Sayuka is us Koana.
She chuckles.
Small mercy.
The Undersecretary mutters under... supposed to be his, but it says is, breath.
No one knows why things grow large in Sayuka, but there are all sorts of theories. Me? I think Gallowayne smiles on us.
Tebe's cheeks glow with a faint blush. The first authentic emotion you've seen cross her face.
Superstition is unbecoming of a Royal Deadfire Company officer, Tebe.
He grunts.
I say, it's a lucky thing I'm not one then.
But why are you dressed like a Royal Deadfire Company soldier, Tebe?
Akira, I wonder the same every day.
Tebe tugs at the neck of her uniform and rolls her dark eyes at the Undersecretary when she thinks he's not looking.
Tebe learns to perform her duties as a Rawatayan might.
The Undersecretary straightens his back and squares his shoulders.
Her fellow Juana show a lamentable disinterest in the proper way of doing things.
He nods curtly in Tebe's direction.
Do not speak about me as if I am not here.
What is an Undersecretary exactly?
A career sandal sniffer and busybody, so far as I can tell.
Tebe shrugs.
You ungrateful sag! I am the second in command to Fleet Master Okaya, the governor of your piddling little island, and I will not be mocked by a smart-mouthed idler like you!
The Undersecretary's jowls quiver with barely contained rage.
So I have heard many, many times.
Tebe meets your eyes and raises her brows emphatically. Give me some real Shifu vibes. The Emperor's assistant from Mulan. Whisper. Is it just me, or is this guy terrible?
You don't know the half of it.
An impish smile plays at the corner of her mouth.
What was that, Greeter Tebe?
Surely just the breeze, Undersecretary.
Tebe's impish smile grows into a mocking grin.
You will call me Sir.
Akira, I certainly will not.
She laughs. Farewell. I speak to him separately.
Questions, travel.
Nope. This game board is scuffed and scratched from frequent use. Marfetto Liano. And a stray cat. Do you remember when Punamu Birdscorned, he's the merchant from the first game, brought Koiki seeds to the island? Bernard? The red flesh variety of Kara. I can almost taste them still. So crisp and sweet. I planted my share inland, and the first crop is nearly ready. Yours grew? Mine could not weather the winds. Would you share mine with me? Akira, you mean it? Alright, let's look at Bernard. While Bernard is following you around, gain a bonus to intellect, and your party gains a bonus to ranged weapon damage.
Huh? Right.
You find a man dressed in worn, dirty leather armor. His long, scraggly beard is encrusted with salt. His curling hair has clearly not seen a comb in some time, and the toenails of his bare feet are cracked and torn. The only thing of any value that he carries is an amulet.
Oh, greetings.
He hesitates a moment before saying more.
Might I help you with something?
Tell me about yourself.
I suppose.
He looks at you quizzically, perhaps unsure why you've asked him such a personal question.
I was a proud man once. A gold pack knight. Then I took a job and it went poorly. I could no longer stay with the Order after that.
His eyes take on a faraway look as he remembers.
In the years since, I have wandered the length of the Deadfire, dedicating my life to self-discipline and abstination from worldly distractions. It is only through suffering that the soul becomes strong. Do you understand?
I see.
I should hope that you do, young man.
Could you teach me what you've learned in your years wandering the Deadfire?
You would ask an old man to share his wisdom? Well, I suppose I could. For 3,000 copper.
No discounts for a, well, I guess a once fellow gold pack knight? Give 3,000 copper, enhance insight and intimidate. Here you are.
Thank you, traveler.
He tells you what he learned about making and keeping a bargain in his years as a gold pack knight, showing you how to tell when a merchant knows his wares are of poor quality or overpriced. When he's satisfied you won't get fleeced by the next back alley charm dealer you come across, he sends you on your way. Nice. Alright, let's go to the Fleet Master's quarters.
Don't bring trouble, I hope.
I've got it.
These papers are covered with figures, snippets of poetry, and letters to home. These book spines are cracked and their pages much dog-eared. A carefully curated selection of Rauatai's finest spirits. Oh, we don't have mechanics.
Huh? I'll get it open. Huh?
Captain? What for, Cap? Aye, aye.
I'll go grab Aloth after we speak to her and steal her stuff. The Master Okaya stares with unwavering intensity at the small sea of paper strewn across her desk. He holds a pencil lightly in one hand and absently taps the tip of it against her lips. After a moment, a low hum escapes her throat. The sound ends with a harsh scoff as she flicks her eyes to meet yours.
Artillery trajectory calculations. Terribly tedious and lamentably imprecise in a storm.
As she chews on the end of her pencil, her gaze grows distant as she's watching something behind you.
But the numbers distract me. Clear skies, Trencher. You must be the watcher the Hazanui sent.
She extends her hand and grasps your forearm in the Rauataian way.
You found me with a rare spare moment.
Hazanui Karu asked me to deliver some cargo to you.
I've received a report from the dockmaster stating as much. The Royal Deadfire Company appreciates your swift delivery of our cargo.
A cheery smile brightens her otherwise serious features. Say nothing about the smugglers.
Well?
She raises an eyebrow.
I've received a report from the dockmaster stating as much. The Royal Deadfire Company appreciates your swift delivery of our cargo.
A cheery smile brightens her otherwise serious features. Nod.
The Hazanui's missive suggested you might be able to help us with an issue at port.
She sighs deeply. Go ahead.
You may have noticed the outsized coral in the harbor.
She gestures to the docks just beyond her office door. Nod.
There's something unnatural about the coral's growth. About everything on this island. And no matter how we trim it back, it only grows larger. My engineers deduced that the origin of this disturbance is somewhere off the coast of Sayuka, and I'd like you to investigate. Talk to Avera in the workshop if you care to learn more. I would be grateful for your help here, Watcher.
She gives you a sharp little little nod punctuated by the crack of her pencil against the desk, then returns to her work. Who are you?
Did you not read the name on the door before you came in? You do know you're in the office of the Fleet Master, I hope.
She knits her brows. I meant, who are you, in a general sense?
Ah, you meant to ask why I'm important enough to have my name on a door. I'm a Fleet Master of the Rawatayan Navy stationed at Sayuka, a research colony of the Royal Deadfire Company.
What are you researching?
Andra's mortar. Storms that strong, that consistent. I suspect they're not natural.
Impressive title.
To one unfamiliar with the Rawatayan Navy, perhaps. But mine is an administrative position. I see to the smooth running of Sayuka. Of course, it'd be a sight easier if there weren't the coral to contend with.
What fleet? I don't see any boats.
You misunderstand. I don't command ships. I command this port. Rawatayan vessels docking here are under my protection, but I don't tell them where to go. That's the Hazanui's job.
I see. Okaya nods and looks briefly at her desk, distracted by a table of figures. As she reads, she twirls her pencil between her fingers, stopping briefly to take a few brief notes. She appears to have forgotten you entirely. I wanted to ask you about something else. Sorry, about something.
Well? Suffer a question first?
Sure, why not?
Do you miss home? Rawatai?
I rarely think of it.
I must admit, thoughts of home preoccupy my free hours. I'm eager to return there once my tour in the archipelago is ended.
What does the Royal Deadfire Company hope to achieve in the archipelago?
How much do you know of Rawatai, Watcher?
I've studied its history.
So you have a scholarly understanding. That's not worth nothing. You'll find we appreciate the spirit of inquiry in Sayuka, and in Rawatai.
She dips her head to you in a quiet acknowledgement.
Well, I don't need to tell you that Rawatai is a stern mother, tempestuous and inhospitable. We have to trade for much of what we need, and the Huana are ready partners. The archipelago is also an excellent place from which to study the storms of Andra's mortar.
She gestures broadly at the spyglass on her desk.
We have other interests, of course. Beating back the Valian incursion, settling colonies, securing our future. Nothing you don't already know, I'm sure.
Nod. The Fleetmaster taps her pencil on the desktop, eyes on you. The smile that spreads across her face is easy and broad. Why are you here in particular?
Do you ask how I came to my position, or why I pursued it to begin with?
Okaya crosses her arms and leans back, guarded but nonetheless curious. How does someone become a Fleetmaster?
With a question like that, I might mistake you for a starry-eyed recruit.
She chuckles.
There's no secret to it. Just hard work, determination, a good deal of luck, and the right connections. A bit of ruthlessness can take the place of any one of those things, provided it's judiciously applied.
What drew you to your work?
No one's ever asked me that.
She blinks.
I suppose I've always had a persistent interest in engineering. Even as a child, I was dismantling my mother's guns just to see how they worked. Then I met Karu. Hazanui Karu. She encouraged me to take my skills to the Navy. So I did, even though I had no obligation to as the youngest of my siblings. We nurture our keen minds in Rawatai, you see. We don't let them piddle away their brilliance on frivolities. The bright and willing are supported, mentored, respected.
Hazanui Karu told me you were one of the brightest minds in Rawatai.
Is that... Did she really say that?
A deep blush colors Okaya's face, giving her skin a gentle purple hue.
Pardon me, I wasn't expecting.
She loudly clears her throat and looks away.
No one's ever... I suppose I've... So I did. The bright and willing are supported, mentored, respect... Very well.
What's your take on the Royal Deadfire Company's relationship with the Juana here?
That's a weighty question.
She narrows her eyes, reassessing you. That's why I asked it. She snorts through her nose. Her gaze falls to the pencil in her hand, which she begins to tap thoughtfully along the edge of her desk.
It's a reasonable inquiry, I suppose. We have as much right to this land as they do. If they plan to do nothing with it, it's our duty to steward it for them.
And it's their duty to recognize a good deal when they see it. Next one won't be as generous.
Some of the Juana seem unhappy.
They'll adjust in time. Besides, it could be worse.
She looks at her desk, her mind quickly gone somewhere else. After a long silence, she hurriedly scribbles a note in the margin of one of her reports. This is inconvenient. Option 1 and 2 are both unfavored dispositions for my class. And I don't agree with option 3, so I have to go against my class's disposition here. How do you feel if someone did the same to Rawatai?
Do you imagine a bunch of soft hands would succeed in the rough country? Doubtful, Trencher. Doubtful. That's
I'm gonna skip back to the dialogue that I accidentally clicked past.
The Juana are pliant enough and willing to work hard when properly motivated. We have as much right to the—
And it's their duty to recognize a good deal when they see it. Next one won't be as generous.
Alright, never mind.
Very well.
Farewell.
What for, Cap?
Let's go grab Aloth so we can loot that chest.
Aye.
Cool. Straight to the Fleet Master's quarters.
Oh, indeed. Nice and cool. I'll see what I can do. The what? Give a moment. How may I help?
So I'm thinking about swapping out Jody for Maya. I think it'd be the worst idea to keep Aloth in the party. I also don't like the idea of traveling without a priest. But I need mechanics, so I think we'll be fine. Even without buffs, I don't think there's a lot that can take my main character down.
Soldier?
Nah, where I'm from. Sometimes the simple life comes knocking on your door with nooses and pitchforks.
Subtle markings in the fish's hide suggest that lampreys of unusual size haunt the waters around Sayuka. Alright, that's the guy for Seraphin's quest. I'll wait and talk to him next time. Alright, let's rename our ship. The Aegis. And also change this up a bit.
How may I help? Indeed.
Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Next time we'll speak to Romaro for Seraphine's quest and go from there. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.